Okay. Can you see the screen, the Salma Leadership Program? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. The Salma Leadership Program, Timeless Wisdom, Community Mentors, Tomorrow's Leaders. That's the Salma Leadership Program in a nutshell. The program is designed to give you the full package and help you become as successful as you can and pair you with the right people at the right time, the right place. So let's dive right in how it does that. Okay, the mission of Salma Leadership Program is dedicated to expanding the leadership potential, cultivating a new generation of leaders guided by rich values, mentors, and community. So, in a nutshell, the Salma Leadership Program, it's there not just to give you ideas, not just to introduce you to a certain person. It's to literally help you become a leader. And that's what makes it unique from any other leadership program. A lot of leadership programs out there, but as you'll see, it's unique in a lot of ways. It's needed more than ever now. As you've seen in the news, on social media, anti-Semitism is on the rise. Since this is a really horrifying graphic right here, since October 7th, it's been up 361%. And you don't need to be, you don't need me to tell you that. You see that on social media, you see that on the news. It's really awful what's going on. And a key to navigating this issue is going to be the Salma Leadership Program, and it's going to be you, but the Salma Leadership Program giving you the tools to help you navigate this increasingly darker and darker world. So that's what Salma Leadership is coming to do, to give you independent, critical thinking, to help make the right decisions and to make a difference. Let your voice be heard. So how do we do that? Let's start with who the leaders are, the fellows at the program. These are 11th and 12th graders who currently hold leadership positions in your community or engage in volunteer opportunities and activities, or have incredible academic skills, or who are simply looking to learn and grow. So if you meet any of these four criteria, just one of these four criteria, then Psalm Leadership is for you. Okay? And we have, because we have such a wide range of criteria, we have a lot of diverse thinkers, a lot of diverse fellows that join the program, and you get to meet with them. And it's a battle of wits. You get to discuss different ideas in leadership with people that are all trying to get to the same truth as you. How do I become the most successful leader that I can be? So that's who Sun Leadership is for. If that is for you, let's keep watching. If it's not, then keep watching anyways. Okay. So how do we help you become a successful leader at Salma Leadership? We do it through three important ways, through a three-pronged approach. Let's start with the curriculum. Okay. So the curriculum at Salma Leadership, it's a book that you're gonna get. It's like this. Ta-da! Nice textbook. And in it, you'll find many interesting anecdotes, stories, news articles, all about 8 different pillars in leadership: character, tolerance, communication, vision, and so on. There's 8 different pillars. And of course, there's many different ways to split up leadership. But I think this textbook does a good job of splitting up into 8 core ideas. When you have all these together, you have all these 8 pillars together, you have a really successful leader. You have yourself a successful leader. Okay. So that's the core ideas, the core concepts, and you'll find that in this book. Once you read the book, then you go on the LMS, the Learning Management System that's online, and it'll ask you a few open-ended questions. Questions like, what did you think about that article about monkeys in the board meeting? Just picking a random article. Or what do you think about the article about the Dallas Mavericks leadership, how they build their leadership out? And I'll ask you different open-ended questions, and you just answer whatever's on your mind. It's not, there's no wrong or right answer, but it's here to help you think and process the ideas that you found in the leadership program in the book so that you can implement that, start implementing that in your life. Okay. Now, each pillar that you read, so going back to these pillars, right? Each pillar, it's its own concept, right? So if you want to learn how to be an effective communicator, you'll go to a seminar, a 3-day seminar where you'll hear from the top speakers in how to effectively communicate, right? So in this book, you'll find communication as a standalone concept. Okay, I want to learn how to communicate, but being a successful leader isn't just about communication, right? It's also about having a vision, it's having a strategy and different ideas and different components. So when you put them together, you get the full package. So you have both approaches here in this book. You have just that leadership value, right? Just that component itself. But then you also have how it relates to everything, all the other pillars. So to bring it home, to really help you understand all these different pillars and how they relate to each other and how to, help you become a really strong leader, we have the guest speakers, and following that, we'll talk about the mentors. So let's start with the guest speakers. At every Solomon session that you come to, you're going to start off meeting a really incredible guest speaker. And this guest speaker will talk to you about their experience, how they incorporated this leadership value in their life. So take, for example, this guy on the screen. His name is Hilton Afune. And he was an electrician, but he built an incredible company and he did it out of persistence. He persisted. He came here on his own two legs, and now he has a sprawling company across Arizona and California. And he did that through persistence. So he's going to show you how through persistence, you can become the best version of yourself. You can become an incredible entrepreneur and successful leader through real life examples. When you're done hearing from that guest speaker, then you get to have Q&A with that guest speaker. You don't just hear him talk. You now ask your questions and dive into what you want to know about what does persistence mean for me, right? My own questions. And you get guided advice from this guest speaker in that Q&A session. And even after that Q&A, sometimes the guest speaker sticks around for an extra few minutes where we have some in-between time. And while you're munching on the hummus on the side, you can go over to him or her and ask a few more questions. So that's the first component in successfully implementing what you've read in that textbook. It's going over to the guest speaker, hearing how he practically applied that knowledge in his or her business and made it successful, and start incorporating it into your life, getting your questions answered. So a few examples of guest speakers that we had that were really powerful, really amazing guest speakers. We have Ms. Jones. She was right over here, a real estate. She is a real estate broker, all woman real estate team, really incredible communicator. She spoke about communication. We have Mr. Wenger, who was an early adopter in tech and data centers, and he speaks about his vision, how he brought his vision to reality. He just started off as gawking at these data centers in New York, and then he did it himself. You have a vision too. How are you going to implement your vision? Some people, the difference between you and Elon Musk is not that you don't have the tools and he does. You all have the same mind, the same brilliance. It's just who actually implements that plan, implements that vision. So you'll hear from a guest speaker about how you can implement your visions of success. And another example is Mr. Solheim. He started Ping Golf. Many pro golfers use Ping these days, and it's because of how he led, and he led by example. So he'll talk about that. So again, you're seeing how they apply their leadership values in real day-to-day life and fully apply that knowledge. So that's the guest speakers in a nutshell, and that's the second component of Solomon leadership. And now the third, and I would say the most important part of Solomon leadership, is the mentors. So, when you think about success, most people don't think about the people that will get them there until it's too late, until you're in your 30s and your 40s and you realize it's the connections that I made along the way that are helping me be successful. But the connections made along the way are some of them are these college dropouts and some people that you met at a frat party that not really getting you anywhere, right? So here at Solomon, We give the mentors. Drum roll. Our mentors are people that we have canvassed the neighborhood for. And we've found some people who are extraordinary on all facets of life. They're not just successful businessmen and women. They're not just great family people. They're not just great communicators. They're not just great people. They've got it all. They've got all the values mixed in one. And on top of all that, they're people that have a little extra time on their hands and are ready to give you the time to help you become successful. So you sit down with this mentor. You're not just sitting down with someone who's going to give you a tidbit. That's the guest speaker. You're not just speaking with someone that has a nice article for you. That's the textbook. You're not sitting down with someone who's going to create a relationship with you. Someone who's going to hold your hand and help you walk through those decisions, right? Up until now, most people have, a mom and dad who are helping them go through life, but don't really have a mentor beyond that. A few people do, and that's amazing, but most people your age don't have a mentor who they can trust, who they can call when they hit a sticky situation and say, hey, what do I do here? So your mentor is going to sit and create that relationship with you. You're going to feel comfortable with that mentor, and you're going to be able to, discuss your goals. Start with your goals. What are you trying to achieve in life? Okay, now how do we implement those goals? Let's go through this step-by-step process until you finish off with a mentor. You have a goal, you have a vision, you have a recipe for success. And even after the Solomon Leadership ends, you get to call up that mentor and say, hey, I hit a road bump. Can you refresh what I should do here, right? You have a friend. It's such a priceless commodity. You can't put a value on this. Having a friend, someone, a guide who is going to hold your hand and help you get there. It's not what we know, it's who we know that will help us become successful. So these mentors are who you know. They're the people that they're going to guide you. And we have this past year 5 incredible mentors who they all have great titles, but beyond that, they're really great people, right? And at the beginning of Solomon Leadership, you get to sit down with each one of these mentors. And we'll probably have a few more because we have a bigger class this coming year. So we'll probably have a couple more. But you get to sit down with every one of these mentors and pick their brain, ask them questions about what they see success like and what's their experience and what they plan to give you, and what's their framework of success and how do they operate. And asking all these questions, kind of like a speed dating session, just for a few minutes. And then at the end of that session, you get to choose who your mentor is. So you get an array of 6 or 7 mentors. You pick your top favorite mentor, top 2 or 3. Assuming everyone matches up, usually you get your top 1 or 2 mentor. And then every session you sit down with that mentor and they guide you through your questions, and they become your older friend. Just someone who, they're just an older, wiser friend who's not gonna, they're not gonna beat you up if you make the wrong move. They're just there to help you grow and become a better person, a better version of yourself. So that's the mentors. And again, you can't put a value on this. This is really what sets Solomon Leadership apart from all other leadership programs, and it's often overlooked in that most seminars, courses you go to that I've gone to, they're there about delivering knowledge to you. What knowledge can I give you? That's why so many, honestly, most seminars can be over Zoom, right? Because it's just the knowledge, just ideas, and now go implement those ideas. But what's often being missed is that and especially now, so in the world of AI, you need people. You need human touch points to also be successful. You can't always be sitting in front of a computer. Knowledge is great, but you also need the people in your life who come along with the knowledge. When you're building a company, you're not just going to build a solo. You're going to have a team, and working with your mentor is the start of your team. So this is really, really important, and that is the third component of Solomon. But don't take it from me. Take it from our fellows. We have 3 amazing fellows who joined Solomon last year, some of which you may know. And we have Oliver, who through Solomon, he learned to listen more, to speak with intention, to understand other perspectives. Because that's another thing, by the way, I forgot to mention. With your mentor, you're not just one-on-one. You're with two or maybe three other fellows. So you're learning how to share the room with other people who also want to get their viewpoints in. They may disagree with you, which is great. It's the start of learning to work with a team. If you're going to build a big business and you're going to have a lot of employees, you're going to have to work to learn with your fellows, your partners. So that's a cool thing about Solomon too. Samantha, she learned about her traditions that are the bedrock of her values that help her grow. And then we have Matthew, who he learns that it's not just about the answers, sometimes about the questions that you ask yourself. And he had a really cool story, actually, how he mixed his golf success with his Solomon success. Yeah, these are three incredible fellows, and they're three testimonials of people that really excelled at Solomon. Okay, another awesome thing about Solomon is that you get ahead in the game, your college game. You need a certain amount of credits to pass to get your degree, and we get you started with 3 golden college credits, elective college credits. And as long as you pass at Solomon, as long as you come enough times, as long as you submit your homework on time, as long as you come to the sessions and participate appropriately, you will get 3 college credits. Really valuable, really cool. And that is Solomon in a wrap. So if you want to join Solomon, so first off, if you want to learn more, look at this link right here, solomonprogram.org. And screenshot the screen if you want to. If you want to apply right now, highly recommended, solomonprogram.org/apply. And if you want to be responsible, also highly recommended, and look at the schedule before you apply so you know when the sessions are to make sure that you're available and it works with your work, your school, and your family schedules, then this link over here will take you there, solomonprogram.org/schedule/Phoenix. And that is where you'll find the schedule of the sessions for Solomon Leadership. There are 12 sessions, and they're spaced throughout the year to align with your fall and winter and spring breaks so that you're able to make the most of your commitments and succeed at Solomon. A little freebie. Oh, before we get to the freebie, the application process, here's how it works. You apply at solomonprogram.org. We have an interview with yours truly. Hello. And I answer a few questions. I ask you a few questions. And then once you get interviewed, if you are accepted, you will get an enrollment form to your email. And that will be a form that you fill out. Once you fill it out, you are in the program. Before we go, I have a little freebie for you. The next 3 applicants that sign up will receive a $20 gift card to Starbucks. Sorry, Dutch Bros lovers, it's to Starbucks. And that will be for the next 3 applicants. Okay, that is all for me today, but I'm sure you have a few questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead, dive right in, turn on your mic and ask away. I am available.
I'll ask a question.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, it's echoey. You said that the next fellowship class is expected to be bigger than previous classes.
Slightly.
Is that... Go ahead, sorry.
No, I cut you off at the end of the question.
No, I was just wondering, is that just based on the number of applications you're receiving, or are you, like, is there anything going on that is making it, larger this year?
Sure, yeah. So it's based off the number of applications that we've been receiving. That's higher than last year. And it's also due to the fact that We have the capacity for a couple more mentors, and which allows room for more fellows. So we don't have too much more room. Last year we had 14. We're maxing it out at 18 this year, so we're making space for another 4 spaces, and that's what we're maxing it out at. Yeah. Okay, Charlie, any questions? Eli, Harlow?
Hello, Rabbi.
Hello, Eli.
Um, may I have a question about how much does all of this cost? What are in if there are scholarship opportunities available for this program?
Great question. It costs $500, and that covers the cost of the college credits. That's all you pay for. There are scholarship opportunities, and at the end of the enrollment forms, that's the last step of the application process. At the end of the enrollment form, there is an option there to request a scholarship, and you can request for a certain amount.
Thank you.
Sure. And
Rabbi,
oh yes, should go ahead.
sorry. My Wi-Fi is really bad, so it might be really glitchy, but I was just wondering when, like, let's say, or when is the deadline to enroll or
Yes.
to apply?
Great question. So we haven't set a deadline simply because we've received a lot of applications, and we'll probably just end it when the applications fill up. So we don't want to put a certain date on that. Well, it'll probably be in around a month or
Mhm.
so from that we'll reach our cap. So yeah, looking at probably around July, early August, that we're going to close out the applications.
Okay, and then after the application, there's an interview, you said?
Correct. So, it's always recommended to fill out the application because you're not you're not committing yourself to anything. Once you fill out the application, there's still the interview process, which is with me, and we go through a few more questions just to see if it's a good fit for you and a good fit for Solomon. And then once we have the interview, you'll have a little more information. You'll then be able to make a final decision if you want to apply or not, and then you do the enrollment form. So the enrollment form is really the step where you have to be like really sure, yes, I want to join the program. If you're still not sure and you still maybe want to find a little more, take a few minutes, fill out the application form. You'll still have another couple steps, and then you'll only have to make the final decision by the enrollment form.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and we set the limit by the application form. So it's a sorry, I'm amnesia moment here. It's a first come first serve process. So however the applications come in, that's the order of who gets accepted in that order.
I have a question. So I was looking at the schedule. Is that like a set schedule? Like that's when it's gonna be. There's not like any changes that will be made.
Correct. That's the
Okay.
second change. And for as far as the college credits go, you are allowed to miss one session with no penalty. Once you miss one session, if anything else happens for a further session, then that will be discussion, and then it may result in not being able to complete it, not being able to get the college credits. But you do always have that one session. And in terms of emergencies, as long as you're communicative, there was people in the past that were not able to complete the program because not because they didn't come to enough sessions, but also they were not communicative. They told me afterwards, "Oh, Rabbi, I'm so sorry, I got sick." Well, that's great. You just have to communicate that beforehand. So if you communicate beforehand and say, "Hey, something happened, an emergency happened, my dog died, I got sick, I needed to go out of town for a family event," then we can have a discussion about that as long as you're communicative of that before the session. Okay. All right, well, great questions. Thank you all for joining. As said before, great time to apply. You'll get that freebie and you'll get your place in line. So it's a great idea to lock that in. And if you have any more questions, feel free to text me or email me. And I'm going to wrap this up. So have a great rest of your summer, everyone. And thank you all for joining.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Thank
Have a great
you.
summer.
Have a great summer.